This is Skip with the Widescreen Gaming Forum, and welcome to episode 25 of our PC Gaming Buyer's Guide podcast. This covers the third and fourth weeks of December 2016. First up is Battleborn. It's a competitive and co-op first-person shooter with a comic book visual flair. It was developed by Gearbox and released in May of 2016. It gets gold across the board: widescreen, ultra-wide, multi-mon, and 4K Ultra HD. The release was overshadowed by Blizzard's Overwatch, which came out a few weeks later. And this is a shame because it garnered good reviews and offers much better display support than Overwatch, which is vert minus beyond 16:9. It's available on Steam to mixed reviews, with about two-thirds positive for $60, but goes on sale for $15 to $20 during the seasonal sales. Metacritic has Battleborn pegged at a 69. I wish the game had gotten better reviews so it'd be easier to recommend. I can't do that at the full price, but encourage you to pick up the game and maybe even the season pass when they're on sale. Personally, I'd just like to reward a developer that supports ultra-wide and multi-mon properly, especially considering that Blizzard has actively thumbed their nose at wider than 16:9 in this genre. Next up is Space Hulk Deathwing. It's a single-player and co-op FPS based on the Warhammer 40k Space Hulk board game. It was developed by Streamon Studio and released in December 2016. Get silver for widescreen, ultra-wide, and multi-mon, and gold for 4K Ultra HD. Issues are focused on the tactical map and rendered cutscenes where there are blemishes. There's a bit of a trick to get it working in multi-mon, but once you have it working, the HUD is spanned. It's available on Steam for $40 with mixed reviews. We can't recommend this game given the mixed reviews and the blemishes at the various display types. If you're a fan of the 40k universe and haven't picked it up yet, wait for a deep discount. Next up is Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. It is a sci-fi stealth game in the ever-running Metal Gear Solid series, developed by Konami and released in March of 2003. It gets limited support across the board: widescreen, ultra-wide, multi-mon, and 4K. It requires a custom patch for any aspect beyond 4x3. Ultra-wide and multi-mon require an additional hex edit on the fix. There is a custom fix available on the WSGF. The HUD is stretched and spanned in multi-mon, very noticeably so. The game is not available on any digital platform. You'll need to pick up a copy off of Amazon, eBay, or some other physical retailer. It has a 77 on Metacritic, but the user score is only a 6.8, with a sizable population of negative reviews. If you're interested, pick up a copy as cheaply as possible, or maybe go for the HD re-releases on consoles. Here we have Small Radios Big TVs. It's a point-and-click adventure game which focuses on manipulation of audio-visual data. It was developed by Fireface and released in November of 2016. It gets gold for widescreen and 4K Ultra HD, silver for 21:9, and limited for multi-mon. Ultra-wide and multi-mon require an INI edit. There are a few minor issues with ultra-wide, but these become game-breaking in multi-mon. It's available on Steam for $12 with mixed reviews. Given the low price and the easy fixes, we do recommend this title for single-screen users. Next up, we have a pair of titles. We have Freedom Force and its sequel, Freedom Force vs. the Third Reich. These are the classic real-time tactical superhero titles from Irrational Games. The first was released in March of 2002, and the sequel a few years later in 2005. They both get limited support across the board, as a hex edit is needed for anything wider than 4x3. Once the solution is in place, the only major issue is a stretched HUD, which is quite noticeable in multi-mon. Both titles are available on Steam and GOG for $5 or $6 each, or in a bundle for $7.50. Reviews on Steam are mixed for the first title, and very positive for the second. Both titles have 4.5 out of 5 stars on GOG. There are free demos of both titles on Steam as well. We recommend these titles for anyone who is comfortable with hex editing, and the fix here is quite simple and the games are inexpensive, so they're a perfect opportunity to try hex editing for the first time. Next up is Boulder Dash 30th Anniversary. It's a 30th anniversary re-release of this classic arcade action puzzle title. It was developed by First Star Software and released in September of 2016. Gets gold for widescreen and 4K Ultra HD, silver for 21:9, and limited support for multi-mon. The game has an FOV slider, which provides the horizontal plus field of vision increase. There are a few blemishes on ultra-wide, and in multi-mon the game is constrained to the left monitor. It's available on Steam for $15 with mostly positive reviews. It goes on sale during the major holidays. It includes Steam Workshop support, including community-created levels. We're recommending this for single-screen users and multi-mon if you're willing to scale back and just play on your center monitor. Here we have Hybrid Wars. It is the futuristic tops-down shooter where you pilot mechs. It was developed by Extreme developers and released in September 2016. Get silver certification across the board. It has native horizontal plus support, but that tops out at 1920 by 1200. A simple INI edit allows for higher widescreen resolutions, as well as ultra-wide multi-mon and 4K. You get a couple of blemishes with ultra-wide and a few more in multi-mon. The biggest issue with multi-mon is that the HUD is spanned and certain elements get very large. The game is available on Steam with mixed reviews overall, but recently it's mostly positive. It's also available on GOG, but there it only has 2.5 out of 5 stars. The game runs $18 but goes on sale during the major seasonal events for between $5 and $9. Given the mediocre reviews, we can't recommend it at full price, but it may be worth it for fans of the genre on sale. Next up, we have a pair of snowboarding games. The first is Steep. It's an open-world title by Ubisoft, just released in December 2016. Gets gold in widescreen, multi-mon in 4K Ultra HD, and silver for ultra-wide. The HUD in ultra-wide is fixed to 16:9, this being the only blemish. Controller functionality is marred in multi-mon with slow response on the x-axis, so you'll need to use a mouse and keyboard there. The game is available on Steam with mostly positive reviews. The full price is $60, but was on sale during Christmas for $40. This game is lightly recommended as long as you're willing to use a mouse, a keyboard, and multi-mon, but you may want to wait and consider Infinite Air, which is next up, Infinite Air with Mark McMorris. It as well is an open-world sports sim. This one was developed by HB Studios and released a few months earlier in October 2016. It gets gold for widescreen, ultra-wide, and 4K, and silver for multi-mon. The game is natively horizontal plus, and the only blemish is a spanned HUD in multi-mon. The game is available on Steam for $30 with very positive reviews. Overall, it's been at 83% positive, but has been approaching overwhelmingly positive recently, with 93% of people giving it a thumbs up. It was on sale during Christmas for $20, and it has a demo available. So before you commit to either purchasing Steep or Infinite Air, grab the demo of Infinite Air and give it a spin first. And our final pair of games are related as well. First up is Hitman Go, the Definitive Edition. It's the PC Definitive Edition, quote-unquote, release of the mobile game Hitman Go. It is a turn-based tactical puzzle game developed by Square Enix and released back in February 2016. Gets gold for widescreen, ultra-wide, and 4K, silver for multi-mon. The HUD is spanned in multi-mon, and there are some minor FOV issues as well, but you can overcome them with the camera's vertical tilt or pan. It's available on Steam for $8 with mostly positive reviews. During Thanksgiving and Christmas, it went down to $2. We recommend it given the solid support, low price, and good reviews. The related title is Lara Croft Go, the Definitive Edition. Similar to Hitman Go, it's an updated version of the puzzle action title originally released on mobile. It also was developed by Square Enix, but was just recently released in December 2016. Gets gold for widescreen and 4K Ultra HD, but only limited for ultra-wide and multi-mon. It needs a custom fix for aspects beyond 16:9, which we have available on the WSGF. It seems odd that a title released 10 months after Hitman Go by the same developer, on what we can assume is the same engine, has worse display support. With the patches installed, the game is horizontal plus, but certain 2D elements are still vert minus. This can be more problematic in multi-mon. It's available on Steam for $10 with very positive reviews and was discounted down to $8 when it was released during the Christmas holiday season. It's recommended even with the custom fix needed, given the low cost and very good reviews.